to make the fridge. There we go. Let's hope it doesn't botch it. I'm happy with these. Do you play Europa Universalis 4? I hear that you are at least the best player. Thanks for the compliment. I used to play that game. I still have the many records. I still have the record for the fastest world conquest, and you know, if someone was keeping track, I would probably have other records. But I don't play it any longer. Every time I think of playing Europa Universalis 4, I quickly change my mind, because I remember all the changes from patch 1.26 and above that completely trashed the game in my eyes. So no, I like IKEA with strategy. Strategy left the building with patch 1.26 and above. Like, it was so severely reduced that if I was a new player and I was gonna play Europa Universalis, I would probably get bored of it in 500 hours. That might seem a lot if you think about other games. It's just that if you think about it, I played that game for 10,000 hours. So getting bored after 500, it means that something's seriously wrong with it. Crap, I won't be able to make a... Oh, that's sad. Wow, that's really sad. I thought I could have 80 at least. This guy butchered with hypothermia. I was asleep. That's why. This just compromised the whole fucking run. Because he butchered with hypothermia and he wasted one fur. Awesome. Jacket is really bad for insulation, but it just requires 70 ingredients. Isn't it? Well, it's better than the Duster, but over here it won't cut it. This is gonna reach 70 degrees Celsius negative, if not more, it depends. I mean, if they still play the game, I guess the game was not ruined for them. I don't play it. I suppose I'm the only known player, like, not like half a dozen people know me, that stopped playing that game because of the changes. Everyone else just goes along with it. Almost everyone. I'm not doing it to, like being stubborn. I really don't enjoy that game now. But, everyone else that I know, or a few of them actually, just not everyone else. I'm not gonna put, or most of them, to be honest, they just abuse bankruptcies. So they abuse bankruptcies. So there's a button called taking loans, and usually they never repay the loans. They just go bankrupt. Like the most well-known Europa Universalis 4 player in the world, as far as I know, the economy for him is just press a button to take a loan and go bankrupt eventually. So, I'm on the opposite end. I never go bankrupt ever, and all the changes. It's so fucking rare that I go bankrupt, and I was always allowed to play my way. Like, just talking about bankruptcies, could be talking about other things that I do differently, but just talking about bankruptcies. So, it's just since patch 1.25, and especially after patch 1.26, the game is all fucked up from multiple perspectives, from being able to take money from people that don't have money, not being able to take money from people that actually have money, only gigantic costs for conversion, corruption from territories, AI doesn't convert, so it's wave after wave after wave after wave of fucking rebels that I have to kill, and that are not even mine, are from the AI, but like advanced AI strategies to export rebels. I could stay here the whole fucking night to say how broken the game is, but the truth is no one cares. So, and I gave the feedback in time for the changes to be made, to make the persons with the power to do something aware of my reservations, aware of my thoughts on the patch or the projected changes, but no one gave a fuck. So the game stopped being interesting for me to play for many reasons. I just talked about a few, like strategy left the building, just one way of doing things, waves of rebels that I have to kill and I hate. In my runs, I almost never ever have rebels of my own, so now I have to kill, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of rebels throughout a single campaign because the AI doesn't convert. And the list goes on. It's just a completely fucked up game. So they had problems with the game. The changes that they made increased the problems in a gigantic way. So now the game is all fucked up. But who cares? As long as the schmucks keep playing, we'll do something by 2020 or something. That's basically it. I'm not a schmuck, even though I sometimes look like one, so. Sorry, I don't want to be offensive with anyone. Like, it's just, if you just started playing EU4, you're still discovering how the game plays. So the game still has some replayability, but nothing by comparison with what it had before. So it's just a shadow of its former self. The thing is, only a handful of people notice that, and that shit's going on for over a year now. No one does nothing. No one does anything. Just like, okay, let's every single time go conquer trade companies. Every fucking time, every single game, no change whatsoever. I mean, even if EU4 was the last cookie in the pack, in the package, last cookie, you know, it's always the same. It's not, you know, even if it was the best movie ever, I can only eat so many cookies. I can only see so many movies because it's always the same. Unlike RimWorld, where I can reinvent everything every single time I play because there's 10 different times, 10 different ways of doing things. At least, you know, every single one of these things has at least 10 different ways of doing it. Or similar. Oh, good job there. Really good job. The AI is just as stupid, or even more stupid than in U4. That's true. This is why you sometimes see components in my fridge. Well, let's make a Trumbo for jacket. Oh, there's a solar flare. What keeps you playing is the immense strategizing. U4 used to be like these. Like where the strategizing that you can do is almost endless. Now all things, the solar flare with the trolling wind is gonna kill this pawn. You just watch it. If the solar flare ends and at the time, and now we have wind, this could be powered up and eating up the place. I don't have any wood available. So the solar flare is gonna end when I won't have wind, and then this is gonna be off too. Okay, so far so good. He's managing to go back to just shivering. Like I said, the strategizing in U4 used to be endless. I don't know how to explain it, just that the ideas, national ideas combined with strategic national ideas, idea groups, all sorts of income available in the game, from gold, from development, gold, trade, vassals, tariffs, all that stuff, and then the specific location where the country is, the area geographically speaking, it allowed for such a huge strategy. Like the possibilities were so big that it made U4 a very strategic game, really almost a masterpiece of strategy, where strategizing was almost endless. It was almost limitless. Very good and an amazing strategy game. And then they fuck up the income from development. They trash the gold. They trash the tariffs. They bump colonial. They bump trade companies to make it the most OP thing in the world when it was already the most OP thing. So the trade has always been dominant, has always been the best thing. So they reinforced it even more and trashed everything else. So completely trashed it. So all the strategizing that was possible, because some very smart people took over U4, they trashed everything. And then they use corruption from. Then they introduce corruption from territories. That makes even worse, because everything else that was already weak, like I said, become even weaker, became even worse, so bad, so terribly bad, that now there's only one option. You have to go conquer trade companies every single fucking time, because everything else is not viable. The gold used to be viable. If you developed the gold mines to level 10, they would not deplete. So it would give you inflation, it would take your diplomatic points away, but it would provide income. So you could work with gold, at least for a big part of the game, to allow you to keep playing. But then what did some Einsteins remember to do? Okay, let's just make it deplete after level 1. So now every time, and I think that's broken too. It's not working as the UI say it works. Since I've seen gold mines deplete with just 0.06% chance per year. So, and I saw it like multiple times over the course of a single campaign. I can't be the most unlucky fucker in the world to be able to see something like that. So I think that Borg should be, it's probably like 10 times more likely than the UI says it is. I mean, I could stay here the whole night. They just fucked up everything like an elephant on a crystal shop. Like, but who the fuck cares, right? All that matters is laugh, and you know, a good meme and a laugh and a good shirt. As long as the idiots keep buying, we keep doing whatever the fuck we please, even if it destroys the game. As long as the idiots keep buying, it's all fine. I'm not an idiot, at least not for that. Even if U4 was the last cookie in the jar, I would not play it. I tried to adapt, you know, like see if I could still enjoy it, but I can't. It's just too fucked up. It's just too fucked up. People finally are starting to realize it. I'm starting to see some threads on the forum, but the very smart people in charge of U4 these days are not gonna, say, okay, I made a mistake, I'm gonna rectify it. Nope. Let's just continue to trash everything. Next thing is gonna be the mercenaries. Then it's probably gonna, and at the same time they're gonna trash the HRE. So if I was still playing Europa Universalis 4 today, I would probably, with the next patch, I would probably just ignore the mercenaries, because they're gonna become so bad, so fucking bad, that if you want to play well, you probably won't be able to use mercenaries. You'd be advised to not use mercenaries because they're such garbage. Like in Europe, in Imperator Rome, they completely fucked up the mercenaries. They're complete garbage. I don't even touch them with a long pole. And that's what they're preparing to do to Europa Universalis in the next patch. There's just one slight detail with the mercenaries with Rome and Europa Universalis, is that today you can still play the game you can still play the game in Rome with regular manpower, because the game still allows you to do that. In the last time that you could do that in Europa Universalis 4 was like, oh wait, Bowler Hat's probably better, is it? Was like in patch 1.15 or something like that, right before 1.16, you could still play the game with just regular manpower without too much waiting. It's the same shit. So yeah. I'm not renting. If you think this is a rent, okay, you whatever. No, like I'm making some fair criticism. It's not a rent. If you take it that way, that's why things never improve, because it's some idiot renting. You know, like can't deal, can't adapt, and he's just renting. It's not a rent, man. It's a critique. I'm criticizing the game, and I'm criticizing the developers that made that game due to they're unskilled. The current developers have no clue about strategy. This is not a rant. This is, you know, like, this is a fucking fact. They know nothing. They're just as good as a Doombu. I think they're worse than a Doombu. A Doombu wouldn't make such stupid call as what, you know, by comparison. You know, if I think about patch 1.25, 1.26, 1.27, and 1.28, yeah, it did. It's a really good game. Indeed. Like I was saying, and I'm gonna end the rant according to Zontwa. The change, the decision, it's so abysmally poor that I don't even think that someone with like a Dumbo with a gigantic tunnel vision could make it. Not even a Dumbo could be so, you know, so stupid to the point of making what they did, what Jake did to this game, Jake and his team. Like, it's really stupid. Like, it's just, you know, like, it's just shooting themselves in the foot. What they did reduces the replayability of the game in a gigantic way, like absolutely dramatic way, which is gonna make the players stop playing sooner than, you know, and it's gonna make many players play on older patches. So the economic consequences of that idiocy is gonna be quite big, I suppose, unless, you know, they somehow grab, you know, many new players somehow. But even then, you know, you want to keep all your players if possible, so that you keep grabbing money from them with your products. Say you don't willingly send people away, I suppose, and that's what they did. Patch 1.26 was a very big invitation for the people to stop playing. In my opinion. But whatever, I'm probably just an idiot. Let's go engage that too. These guys still can't shoot. He does move faster. She's probably suffering. No, she's not. It's gonna be fun when winter comes along. This dude won't be able to leave the house. All because I was asleep and allowing him to butcher when he had some, he was shivering, so it reduced his ability to butcher things properly. You know, he already sucks at it, but if he has hypothermia, he's gonna suck even more. yeah, they're so fucking good that I will never use them. Now, if I was still playing, what's the point? And you know, it blows my mind away. What's the point of bringing things into the game that are so fucking bad that no one's gonna use them? What's the point? It's just wasted opportunity. If things are so bad, but so fucking bad, that anyone trying to play well won't ever use them, what's the point? I could give you a few examples, like the innovativeness. Who the fuck cares with the innovativeness? Who the fuck cares? It's so severe, the penalty to actually grab some innovativeness is so severe that you won't care with it because it doesn't pay off. It's that terrible. Then you think about Imperator Rome. That game was full of shit like that. So with claims costing 200, I don't even remember the points. Let's say administrative points, whatever the name of the points were. And then there's all the CK2 related things, like the imprisonment, like, you know, like to murder them, to whatever. And even if I remember correctly, even trade routes and marrying someone or whatever, everything costed oral points. That was the name, oral points. So you were always struggling with oral points. You will never have enough oral points for the claims, and that you will never gonna use the CK2 part of the game, because seriously, 100 oratory points to imprison someone, or to seriously, and the list goes on. Like, it's so harsh that no one's gonna use that shit. No one is gonna use that if trying to play well. So what's the point? Silly, isn't it? So that's what they did. They're introducing shit that's so bad from a gameplay perspective that anyone trying to play well won't use it. Just like if you're trying to play well, today's EU4 really encourages you to do nothing. The best course of action is to not play. Who the fuck fires up a game to not play? But it isn't, is it, Zontua? It isn't. It isn't that way, is it? I'm just wasting my breath. Anyway, it's actually past midnight. I need to shut up. So I hope you can still enjoy the stream. I don't know for how long I'm gonna play, but it's gonna be muted, or else I'm gonna get raided by my neighbors.